Living After Midnight by Judas Priest. The first riff starts with an E5 or an E power chord, and you basically put your first finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. Then your third finger goes to the 9th fret on the 4th string, and your pinky goes to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. You play it twice with a quarter note rhythm. So if you're counting it, I'll give you one measure for free. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So you give it a 1 and for the first chord and then a 2 and for the next chord. The next part of the riff is an open E with a palm mute. That means you take the edge of your palm here and you put it right on the edge of the string by where the string meets the saddle. You get that dampened sound as opposed to without a palm mute sounds like that. So you want to still be able to hear the pitch that the note is making. So if you go too far towards the body of the guitar, you'll get a totally muted sound. You don't want that. You want to be right on the edge of the string to get just a dampened sound. So that low E note is just an 8th note. So that means that it just gets a half a beat. So that means that it'll just take the 3 and not the and that comes after 3 for the next beat. So if we add that to what we have so far, we'll have something that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. After the low E, we bring the power chord that we just played it down 2 frets to this 5th position. This is now a D5 power chord. That's the same chord you just played, just 2 frets towards the headstock of the guitar. And we're going to play that note one time, and it's only going to last for a half beat. So that's going to take the and of 3. Then you rest right after. I like to rest by putting my palm edge of my right hand on the strings. You can also rest by lifting up with the left hand slightly and muting. Right hand muting, left hand muting. 2 ways to do the same thing. So if we add that to what we have so far, then we'll have something that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So after the mute that we do on 4, or the rest that we do on 4, we're now going to play an open A string. That's your 5th string, open. So let's add that now to what we have so far. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Nice job. You just played the first measure of Living After Midnight. Next we're going to go to an A5 chord, and we're going to do it by going down here to the 2nd fret on the middle 2 strings, and we're going to include an open A string, which is open 5th string. So that chord will sound like this. We're going to play it together like that. And we're going to play that chord with the same rhythm that we played the first chord in this song, which is 2 quarter notes, or 2 times 1 beat long each. So if we add that to what we have so far, we should get something that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So I muted on 3, but that's not actually what happens. You want to play the open A string, the open 5th string, with another palm mute. So that will be in the same rhythm as we did in the first measure when we did the 2 E5 chords and then the palm muted low E string. Now this time in the second measure we're doing 2 A5 chords and a palm muted open A string. So let's try taking it from the beginning, and we're going to add that palm muted open A now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Nice job. After that, we're going directly to our next chord. just like we did in the previous measure, except this time the next chord is a B5. And to play a B5, you put your first finger on the second fret of the 5th string, that's your B note. Then your third finger plays the 5th, not the 5th fret, but the 5th of the chord, which is on the 4th fret of the 4th string. So that makes a B power chord. It sounds like that, and we're going to add the pinky up here on the 4th fret of the 3rd string to make the octave of the root note. A nice full sounding power chord. So if we add that B5 to what we have so far, we should get something that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And just like we did in the first measure, we're going to rest on 4 with our right hand, putting our right hand right down on the strings there. So we can add that rest now, and there's only one more component to the first part of this riff. So that component is a low open E without a palm mute. So let's try the whole thing, and we'll try playing it twice in a row, just like it does in the song. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So I took it a little more than 2 times. It does go a third time, but the third time the second measure is different. There's an alternate ending on the third time. So on the third time, we are going to go back to the B5. I stopped before that just now, but we are going to go back to that B5. And the difference is that after the rest that comes after the B5, instead of playing an open E, we're going to play the B5 again, and we're going to hold it for the last half beat of that second measure, and also for the next 2 beats of the next measure, the first 2 beats of the next measure. So those Bs will sound like this. 1 and 2, and then there's going to be a rest. So if I take this riff from the first part and I just go straight to that alternate ending that happens in the third time, so far what I've shown you will sound something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... Then you're going to rest for a half beat or an eighth rest, and we now play the same chord yet again and rest yet again. So that will take the and of 3 when we play it, and then the rest will take the downbeat of 4, and then we are going to play that same chord yet again another time after that on the and of 4. So again, if I take it from the beginning of the riff and I jump straight to that ending, what I've shown you so far will sound something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let me do that again. 3 and 4. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and... So that last B5 is going to last not only for the last beat of that measure, but also for the next beat, the first beat of the next measure. And after it's been held for a beat in the next measure, we're going to play it again, yet another time, for another quarter note, or another beat. So now we're going to add that B5 to what we have so far. Let's take it again from the beginning, jumping straight to that alternate ending. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and... Nice job. After all of that, we're going to play just the root note of that chord, which is this second fret on the 5th string, and we're going to palm mute it. That'll take the downbeat of 3. After we do that, we're going to play the chord again without a palm mute, so that'll sound like this. And then after we've done that, we'll palm mute the root note again. So if we add that, it'll sound like this. And then after all of that, we're going to play just an open low E without a palm mute. So that last bit there that I just showed you will sound like this. So if we add that to what we have so far, and we play it from the beginning, jumping straight to that alternate ending, we'll get something that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Supposed to jump to the alternate ending. Sorry, I'll do it this time, promise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now we repeat the whole riff. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Third time, so we're going to go to the alternate ending this time. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then on the second time that we do the alternate ending, we just slide up here to this E5 chord that we started the song on, and we go into the verse. So, rather than talk about how to play the verse in this video, we'll make another video on how to do the verse. We're just going to practice this riff together a little bit right now. So I'm going to start very slow, and if you're trying to learn it and you'd like to try and play along, that should help you smooth out the rhythm a little bit. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 Hope this video was helpful for you for learning the first riff in Living After Midnight by Judas Priest. I'll be back soon with another video on how to play the verse part. And happy practicing until then. Thanks for watching. Bye now.